Hello, and welcome to Rimworld. A game I've not played before on the channel, but I have sort of played separately. And I thought I'd just do a couple of episodes of this and see how it goes, see how people like it. So, we've got here our landing site selector. We've gone through a couple of menus, but that's just selecting difficulty. I've chosen a medium difficulty here. So I'm going to select here. We've got some year-round growing periods. That'll give us an easy start into, well, Rimworld does tend to descend into fairly inevitable misery and suffering. That's just, yeah, we've got a river right, is that a river? No, that's a road right next to us, and we've got some rivers further out, but we've got desert around us. However, you know, we've got some limestone, sandstone, granite here. I think this will be okay to start. Yeah, let's give this a go. All right, let's choose next. And now we get to choose individual people. And I have a couple of mods on here that just let you choose different skills. I'm not going to worry too much about it to start off with. I just like to have, I don't know, a sort of mix here. I sort of want someone who's good at farming, growing, etc. Mining might be nice, but we want to look at the traits before we look at the skills. So Brawler obviously likes to be some melee based, abrasive and nervous. We can randomize. So has a chemical interest. So yes, he likes to enjoy various chemicals. But he's very good at growing things, which you might imagine, but always is quite slow. However, he's got an eye for crafting. The double flame there is sort of a passion for crafting. Good at social, shooting and melee. Not much good at everything else, but he's okay for growing. Okay, so why don't we choose him? And then we've got to choose a couple of others. Now, I'm not going to worry too much about these. I'm just going to skip ahead until I've chosen them. But I'm going to choose a mix. I do want someone who is good at sort of shooting. As certainly maybe also good to be our hunter, to be able to gather various things. So let's just go through a couple of those. Shooting, mining, and, well, construction and growing as well. Okay. That should do. No injuries. However, he's a nudist. Oh, she's a nudist, I should say. And a fast walker. Can we keep going? Ideally, some kind of good mix. Shooting, melee. Okay. Construction and mining. And incapable of being intellectual or artistic, which means that we can't have Fisher Macy do the research role. So if we take that colonist, and here we have someone with an annoying voice, Hoshi, and is a cannibal and is jealous. No, I don't think so. Abrasive and gay, not so much of a problem. No, green thumb. Ideally, I'd like someone who's sort of good at crafting, well, social and animals, but stab scars, too smart, and hates men. Okay, so a lot of other skills here, but it has a bad back, and is age 68. Okay, does prepare carefully let me change? Yeah, it does. Okay, so prepare carefully is a mod, and you have a point limit, and you can use that to change all of these things. So if we wanted to say be, I don't know, 18, and let's say we want to remove the bad back and the scar, we can spend points. The more points we spend, we've got a sort of a budget for these points, so we don't have to go through and spend a few things. So I'm going to go through that, and I'll be right back. Okay, and there we go. I've turned on the points limits, and my points remaining is 0. I've turned down a few skills to be able to bring ourselves to 0. So we've got decent biological ages for all of them, so they're not going to keel over and die anytime soon, or hopefully, at least not from old age. They may keel over and die from something else. So, are you sure we're ready? Yes, we're ready. So it's going to generate the map, and then we're going to come in and, well, crash land. Okay, so here is, yes, the three of you awake from your cryptic sleep sarcophagi. The sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown Rimworld. As pieces of the shredded starship fall all around you, you start making plans to survive. So, first thing, we press space to pause things. And you'll see we have a map all around us. It's actually fairly big. However, we're going to start off, I think you'll probably see the craft come in when I unpause things. Those are the shadows of them. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so if I paused it again, we can now decide what we want to do. And there's nowhere on here that's sort of a good place with lots of barriers, except maybe here. What we want to have is some kind of defensible area, and we don't necessarily want to annoy those. Boomlopes, if you've not seen what they do, well, they go boom. So this seems like a decent area. We've got grass, palm trees, because of the area. Is this rich soil? It is rich soil. Okay, so we could probably grow crops on there. Is there anything in here? Marsh, grass. So we can maybe have a farm out here. This is all grass, marshy soil. Okay. So where do we start? Well, we start by telling them what they can actually pick up, or instructing them to pick up certain things. So we've got a bunch of different things. We've got some wood, we've got some steel. We should have some other bits and pieces. Yeah, so we've got weapons. And you're going to be able to choose, so we can basically press R to draft them and choose various, get them to pick up specific weapons for them. So let's just see what they are. So character, Scurry is gonna be terrible at everything there. Fisher, however, is good at shooting. So if we recruit him and equip the revolver, is Choi good at anything? Shooting and melee? Let's get her to pick up this plasteel knife. And do we have anything else? Oh, we've got a hunting weapon as well. Actually, let's get her to pick up the revolver and get Fisher to pick up the hunting rifle. Then we can get Scurry to pick up the little knife. And we've even got a friend called Tarkuf. Tartuf. Tartuf is a husky. You gotta love huskies. Okay, so we can then decide what we want to do with the rest. We can tell them that it's all okay to pick up, and to do that, we can just select it and press F to unforbid things. Otherwise, if it's got an X on it, it will just be left where it is by our colonists. Unless you draft them, they will not respond to you directly. So if I undraft again, they will go back to the normal mode. Yeah, that is, let's just make sure they've got all the stuff. They do. They're all back to an undrafted mode. Yes. Okay. So now we want to build the start of our colony. And we have a bunch of different things to build with. So we're going to start with, I don't know, maybe the sort of simplest thing. This is the sort of build menu. You can choose to create zones. So we can probably create a stockpile zone. I don't know, maybe here. And stockpile zones are just places that, but they will move stuff if they're not forbidden to be moved. So if we want stuff from over there, we can go and get it. Growing zones will come back to you later, and then a dumping zone. If they don't know what to do anything else, you can... I didn't want to do that, but I'll come back to that later. We can create a home area, roof area. Let's not worry about that too much. Let's just take a look through what the structures we can build to start off with. Walls is about all we're going to start with, and we can create that from wood. So we can tell them to start chopping wood, and they will start putting it into the stockpile. However, we already got some to start with, so let's just, for a second, I think, yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. I've still got that tool. Never mind. Let's just cancel you. And now, let's see if we can select this and unforbid them. And they should start moving all that stuff to the stockpile zone we've just set up. So off they go. Yep, they need some beds. We can unforbid that. They'll start making their way over while we start thinking of something else. So to start off with, we're going to want some beds and some places for them to sleep at night, because as soon as it hits darkness, then well, we're pretty out of luck. So we can put down beds using the furniture menu. The cheapest one is sort of the sleeping spot, which is next to nothing. But the bed is probably a good idea. It needs 35 wood, however, to build. So you need some kind of structure to start off with. So if we go and put in a wall, I mean, we want a really quite small wall to start off with. So if, let's say we build something along this sort of size. And how many beds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So something like that is going to start us off. And put a door here. And then we can go and put some furniture down and tell them to put beds. Yeah. Don't want to put them anywhere else. That should do, at least to start off with. Okay. I suppose I could rotate them as well to face the other direction, but it shouldn't really much matter. Are they bringing stuff in? They are. So we can accelerate time a little bit to get them to do that faster. But while they're doing that, we should probably take a look at what else we want to do. They will be able to move this stuff off into the stockpile fairly soon. So I don't have to worry about that. Zoning. Yeah, we probably should be building a new building, but we want to make sure they do this first. So let me skip forward to when they've started to build stuff, shall I? So here we go. They've started to build, and I flipped the beds on the other direction. And they should at least be able to get somewhere they're going to be able to sleep. It is 9 o'clock in the morning. While they're doing that, we should probably look at what they actually do. Can I change this to numbers? Yeah, I can. So here we got our colonists. And we can prioritize what they do based on what their skills are. So you can see that Scurry, the cave kid, actually has a really good sort of, what would you call it? Enthusiasm for handling. And Choi has a really good enthusiasm for growing. So we're going to alter these as time goes on to get them to do different things. Don't need to worry about it just yet. However, wow. Yeah, don't need to worry about those. Those are modded. We'll come back to that. Do we need to look at restrictions yet? One of the things you're going to need for your colonists is you're going to need to keep them happy. And to keep them happy, they need a certain amount of sleep, and that depends on their skills. So if you've got someone who's a night owl, they're not going to want to work during, during the daytime. They're going to be wanting to do the work later than everyone else. So we can adjust these things to give them specific time periods for doing certain things, and I want to make sure that they get at least a certain amount of joy during the day. So we need to give them a good, maybe a good lunch hour. You can stagger them if you wanted to, but you know, we want to keep at least that amount going, and then we'll probably adjust this sleep pattern over time just to keep them happy. And we can have a look at their individuals and see what they actually needs. They've got no injuries at the moment. Needs is where you'll look mainly, so very low expectations. Yep, it's there's nothing here. You've just landed on an alien planet. New colony optimism, so you get for a certain time period some optimism that will go away, and yeah, Scurry is an optimist anyway. However, they ate without a table, so that's a good idea that you build a table. If not feeling great, and it's an ugly environment, so you know, we need to clean up the environment. You'll also find they don't quite like sleeping in sort of a dorm like this. They prefer their own rooms. So once we have maybe passed the first night, we want to start building either rooms for them separately, or walls and doors, etc. internal to here. We don't quite have that enough room for that yet because the walls take up 1 block space. But let's let them carry on. So they got this room going. And they should roof it off, I think, once they've gone and got some stuff. I've reforbidden some of the steel just so that they don't try and haul it in before nightfall. Okay. And they've got some food over here. So we should probably think about some furniture as well. I'm not sure if we got enough room in here for a table. Is there a small table? That's quite a large table. I don't quite... Well, that's a 2x2. I guess we could tell them to mine a little bit. So if we go and click that and press L, they will mine that away. And the same thing with all of this stuff. And once they've done that, our static thing going again, we can then perhaps put a table down. 2 by 2, something like that. We don't have enough wood yet, but they're going for it right now, I would hope. Passing the boomalope, but not hunting the boomalope. And we probably also want to maybe put down a sleeping pad for our little husky over there. Well, we don't have to do too much for that. Just the sleeping spot will do for now. Let's put that there. And wow, Scurry is terrible at mining. Or at least they're all quite slow at mining. Let's just up the speed a little bit. There they go. And they're going to build beds. Now you can dedicate a bed to a specific colonist, but they will just pick one anyway. So, and there's the third bed. I also find it quite important to actually get started with, you know, beds on the first night. They will just sleep out under the stars if you don't want to do that, but I do. So if we put a table down and we want some either a dining chair, and let's just rotate that. There's 3 of them, so we need to put 2 there, and don't try and put one here, because this is the spot that's important on the table, and they'll end up sharing, or trying to share the spot, and it won't work. So put it at least there, and you should be fine. Well, at least you will be fine if they've got enough wood. They should have. And if you need to chop more wood, well, by all means, we can tell them to do various stuff. In fact, can I just select the trees by... No, I guess I'm going to have to tell them. So, where is the orders menu for chopping? I used to remember the shortcuts, but we don't have that at the moment. So we can tell them to chop those trees down. And the same thing will happen with all kinds of other things once we get going. Where is Choi off to? Choi, what are you doing? Is she on a leisure period? It is... Ah, it's 2 o'clock. So maybe... Let's have a look. Going for a walk. That's what... that's what she does for joy. So let's have a look in here. We can set them up with joy stuff. So a horseshoe pin or a chess table, billiards, a shooting target, etc. Horseshoes pin is a cheap way to get started. I am quite cheap at this early stage of the game. And we've got some other stuff we can mine there. So compacted machinery that we can mine. And here is steel. Of course, we start off with quite a bit of steel anyway. So, you know, we can probably use that without too much of a problem. And it's 3 PM in the afternoon. So construction's failed on my chairs. They're not very good at it to start with. They will learn over time to actually do that. However, I think Fish is bringing in the last of the wood we were given to start off with. So we will get the rest of this stuff later. I just don't need it for right now. What I need is for them to look at getting the wood from out here. And in comes that. Let's just speed time up a little bit. It's going towards sunset now, so they don't have too much longer before they're going to go to bed towards 10 PM. Instead of building the table, you built the horseshoes pin, and yeah. So you don't always control directly what they actually do with the materials. Let's see if Scurry can actually build this table, or at least some of the chairs. Maybe. Are you going to go to sleep first? It's 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Wow, taking a long time to build one chair. At least we're getting more wood, and that will enable them to build more of this stuff. There we go. So one chair in. And then once they've gone to bed, I'm going to put another room here and then move our main stockpile perhaps in here, something like that, so that we can store stuff with a roof so it doesn't deteriorate, which is what this thing is saying up here. If you want to store items long term, keep them under a roof. Yes, we'll mark that as learned. And why don't we... oh, there's our husky going to bed for the night. And they should have a table to eat at in tomorrow morning. Okay, so let's start putting... Are they finished with that just yet? They're trying to get some sleep, and Scurry's just standing there, sawing away, making a chair. Come on, you know you want to go to bed now. Are you done? You're done. Okay, so first day, they've all got everything done that I wanted them to. And while they are asleep, why don't we just set up that extra walls? So structures, walls, whoops, walls. So we want something like this. I'll leave that for you. That's where the door's going to be. And later we'll knock this through and actually make it into a much larger structure. Inside here, let's just zone that as well. And a stockpile zone. So let's just say that's all a stockpile. And we can say what we want to store in here and exclude what we want to store in here. So if we click on that, we can say we don't allow rotten food in here. We'll allow food and corpses. No, I don't want human. No, I don't want colonist corpses in here. Thank you very much. I will allow animal corpses though. For now, because maybe we'll put a kitchen off this area as well, or maybe another stockpile back here that's specifically for hunting or animal corpses. So we can also set this back now. We can select all of these, unforbid them. Let's get those started. And what else should we actually do? We're going to want to think about different furniture that we're going to supply for these colonists. We've got to think about bedrooms or keeping them happy. And to do that, we're sort of going to need some more outbuildings, I think. Maybe convert this out of being a bedroom once they get started. So you can use whatever you like. But I like to have those bedrooms be at least 6x6 internal size. So this kind of size for one bed. It just makes them, it's the maximum happiness that you can get going. That's going to take a fair bit more work though, so we may well move them out one at a time. We've got to do this kind of construction next. Okay, so I've deleted the other stockpile and they're bringing this stuff in here and of course constructing this at the same time. We do actually want to chop down more trees, however, so let's just get started with that. So I'll just select those 3 or 4. Let's give them a good amount of working wood that they can get started on. However, they are still hauling steel, so I think I want to just, once they've picked up those 2, forbid the rest of this for now. Now we do also need to start thinking about power, and I'm just going to mine these 3 things. And Scurry is having a lie down, cloud watching. Oh, ooh, we've got some more food up here, so let's just grab that as well. Is there anything else around that we actually want? Let's take a quick scan, shall we? Yeah, there's more steel up here. More here. Good. If I miss any, I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. And there's some there as well. That's a dead chinchilla. Oh, no one wants a dead chinchilla. And these walls here generally mean that there's a space inside here, and this can be good or extremely bad. So I don't necessarily want to go in there to start off with. However, oh, that's a roofed area now, I think. Yeah, it's deteriorating due to being unroofed. Is this one though? No, so that appears to be roofed. Good. So next what I might think about is some kind of kitchen area, or maybe put it out here once we've cleared this. Our first farm probably wants to be down here, so we don't have to worry too much about that. And we're going to need some power as well to keep everything cool. So we've got to make a few decisions. Okay, so I've created 3 growing zones here. So here's the first one, and it is potatoes. Next one across here is rice, and now they're going through that. And the third one is corn. Oh, we've got some visitors. They're afraid to enter your territory because we don't have any guest beds. If you send them away, they will stay in the air and come back later. Send away. Yeah, we don't have any guest beds. We should probably make a few, but ooh, oh, that's a dead monkey. We should haul that urgently. before it goes off. It's fresh. Yes, go take it. Okay, so we're starting to get this stockpile filling up. I should probably start thinking about putting a kitchen in. So why don't we just put an architect menu and then go create a structure. Here seems sort of good. We shall see. And I want to build it in a certain way. Probably gonna have to mine the rest of this out, but that's not too bad. Create a stockpile in here for bodies, I think, for animal corpses and meat, raw food, essentially. So let's just zone that. Stockpile zone. And maybe here. So we'll tell them here, let's get rid of everything else. Foods. I don't want human corpses at all. I want animal corpses. And we want foods. Not meals necessarily, but raw food we'll certainly take. We can put meals in there as well, I suppose. And, well, maybe pemmican and maybe kibble. That should do fine. Raw resources we don't want in there. No items, no weapons, no apparel. And no, we'll just turn off all of that. And we don't want rotten food in there either. And we'll change this to an important store. So once they're finished with that, they should put or move those corpses over here. We can also look at, is it production? Yeah, we want a butcher table. And we can rotate that. That's not the way I was expecting that to go in terms of size. Let me rework that. And then it's the morning of our third day, and Fish, I think, should give your faction a name. So, Grey's Dusters. And we should give this community a name. Okay, so maybe it's Dustville. Yeah, there we go. So they're going to carry on building this, and I've reworked this a little bit just by moving the door. And you always want to put a stool in front of any kind of workbench. They're just much better. I can't remember what the effect is. Certainly a positive effect anyway. They're much better once they have a stool to sit on. We are going to want to put a air conditioning unit in here, but we don't have any power just yet, so we can't get ahead with that. That said, we're going to need a meal source. Yeah, we have low food, so they are moving the food in there. And we're going to need to probably hunt for our first food. But we can, however, configure this to add a bill. And we want to butcher creature, and we want to say do forever. And then they should take that creature and cut it up into usable meat. Yeah, just animal corpses. Okay, can we make that more important? Yep, there he goes. Scurry is volunteering to do the dirty stuff, unfortunately. And who's the best at hunting? We need to go hunting somewhere. So it's going to be Fisher, isn't it? Okay, so we can actually hunt for some things. Let's hunt for you, and hunt for you. And then we can probably go back to Fisher and change his character sort of assignments. Where is assignments? Work here. So where's Hunter? Oh, never mind. They've already done it. I think there's offset. I think there's something problem with the mod there, so I may have to get rid of the mod. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. So Fisher is probably best. Yeah, there we go. Hunting. Fine. Having said that, he's not amazing at it just yet. Oh, there goes one. And we're probably going to want to hunt you as well, aren't we? So we've got that poor chinchilla. He's now going to be a chinchilla steak. And we're going to want to knock that down, aren't we? Deconstruct. So they can get in. Meat and hide. We probably move the hide out. We don't need that in here. We can probably put it in the main thing. Information. That's fine. Don't worry about that. Please don't shoot each other. Please don't shoot each other. Alright. And in comes another corpse to be butchered. And that brings the first episode to a close. Feel free to leave comments below. Let me know if you think I should be doing anything different, or if I'm doing anything wrong. Feel free to let me know. I think... Oh no. Mad animal. Oh no. Okay, that is going to cause some problems. But that will have to wait for the next episode. So hopefully you've liked this. Feel free to subscribe, share, and like as normal. And next episode, we'll deal with that mad monkey and, yeah, carry on building our colony out. Probably with the bedrooms and probably some power systems as well. And food, of course. Until then, thanks for watching.